Wishbone, turn 2, Commonwealth, France, Soviet Union. Let's get right into it. For the Commonwealth, they had 16 IPCs to spend. They're going to buy a destroyer, infantry, artillery, and then they're going to save one IPC. Once again, I am denied the pleasure of rolling dice. For the Commonwealth move, I don't have a whole lot. I will be taking the infantry in Java, putting it in the transport, and then taking Dutch Sumatra. So I'm going to put a marker there, and Commonwealth will go up to 23 on the tracker. Okay, other moves. I'm going to take, sorry, I need to fix this angle here. I'm going to take the infantry in India and I'm going to rail it 1, 2, 3 to wreck. Down here in Africa, I'm going to take the infantry and artillery and I will liberate Kenya from Italy. That'll put Italy down to 15 on the tracker, and I don't know what that puts the Commonwealth up to. Additionally, I'm going to rail the artillery and tank from South Africa to Anglo-Egyptian Sudan. 1, 2, no wait. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you can do that. 1, 2, 3. To Anglo-Egyptian Sudan. Destroyer an A44 stays where it's at. That's all my moves actually for the Commonwealth. So the only thing left to do is place my units. I have an infantry and artillery that I'm going to put down into South Africa, and then the destroyer will go to C zone P59 over here, and then I'll give a disposition. New Zealand has 1 infantry. New South Wales has 4 infantry and artillery, 2 anti-aircraft guns, 2 fighters. C-Zone P59 has 2 destroyers and a cruiser. C-Zone P52 has a destroyer and a transport. Sumatra, I think that's called, yes it is, has an infantry. Malay has an infantry and a fighter. Iraq has 1 infantry. Anglo-Egyptian Sudan has a tank and artillery. Kenya has an infantry and artillery. South Africa has an infantry and artillery. Canada proper has 2 infantry and artillery. The United Kingdom has 2 infantry, and then I have an infantry and a tank in Western Canada. So they go up to 20. They're at 23 on the tracker, plus they saved 1, so I'll have 24 to spend next turn for the Commonwealth, and that's their turn. French turn. I'm going to move the infantry from Lebanon, Syria. I will be moving that into, no, I'll keep it there. I have 2 infantry in French Equatorial Africa. I'm going to move those both into Anglo-Egyptian Sudan. I have the fighter in London. I will be moving that into Scotland. And then that is going to be France's turn. I'm going to get my money together for Anzac real quick before I forget. No convoys this time. The submarines from Canada have gone elsewhere. Russia had 39 IPCs to spend. I will be spending 4 on tech and then 2 to move a industrial complex, and then I will spend the remaining 33 on 11 infantry. So the non-combats for Russia. Let's start in Ukraine. I'm going to leave 1 infantry behind and then move 3 infantry, a mech, and an anti-aircraft gun into Bryansk. And then I'm going to do the same in Western Ukraine. Leave an infantry behind, move 2 infantry and an artillery into Bryansk. So that's going to be 5 total infantry for now into Bryansk. Can you see that? Okay, kind of. That glare is killing me. The light's too bright. I'm going to, what am I going to do here? I'm going to, over here in Eastern Russia / Mongolia, I can get the camera to stay still, that'll do fine. I'm going to consolidate, I think. I'm going to move everything from Buryatia into Yakut. I guess I'll leave the Tunguska forces as they are. I will rail this anti-aircraft gun in Moscow over to Tunguska. And then I'm going to rail this infantry in Moscow to Leningrad. So I think that's going to be all Russia's moves for the turn. So I will place my units and then give a disposition. I will place, first I got to move the factory. The factory in Rostov I'm going to move to the Caucasus. So I will place 3 infantry into the Caucasus because miners can place 1 more from the Disposal War deck. 4 infantry into Stalingrad, 4 infantry into Leningrad, and then the last infantry into Moscow. Then I'll give my disposition here. So in Leningrad, let's count this out. I have 13, 14, 18 infantry, 3 fighters, 1 tactical bomber, and artillery, and 2 anti-aircraft guns. Karelia, I have an infantry. Estonia, Latvia, I have an infantry. Belarus, I have 6 infantry. Eastern Poland, I have an infantry. Bessarabia, I have an infantry. Western Ukraine and Ukraine both have 1 infantry. Bryansk, I have 5 infantry, 3 max 2 tanks, and an anti-aircraft gun and an artillery. Rostov, I have 3 infantry. Caucasus, I have 4 infantry. Stalingrad, I have 4 infantry. Moscow, I have an infantry. Tunguska, I have 2 infantry, 2 artillery, and an anti-aircraft gun. Yakut, I have 6, 11, 16, 17, 21 infantry, 2 anti-aircraft guns, and 2 cavalry. The Black Sea, I have a cruiser, destroyer, transport. A-15, I have a cruiser, transport, submarine. C-Zone A-5, I have a submarine. That's all of Russia's pieces. They are at, I believe, 37 on the tracker. 2, 3, 4, 5, wait. They lost Siberia, that's 2. Ksaka's 3. Mir's 4. Zavon's 5. Yeah, that's 37, that's correct. So they're going to collect 37 this turn. No convoys, no bonuses. On to turn 3.